Hello everybody, welcome back to the Nocturnal Gaming Network. My name is Xeriua, and today we are once again playing Spaceflight Simulator. And today is going to be the final episode in the, build for our solar panel stuff. So let's get right into it. We're at the build. Basically, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put my 7 solar panels, because that's how many we used. I'm going to put them in line, and today we're doing the top portion of the solar panel. So I'm going to use the 7 solar panels to actually space this to make sure that nothing is wrong here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. All right. So we can rotate that block and just sort of put it in place. There we go. Just like this, we have the one block on the end, and then we can put our connector, and then we're going to do the same thing down here. We're going to put our blocks, our structural blocks, across the bottom, put one single block, and then there's the other connector. Okay, so that's all that we need as far as the actual solar panel assembly goes. What we're going to do now is we're going to go to the electrical tab, and we're going to put some thrusters on this. And I'm going to put one here and one here, and then one on the center, which the center one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So the center's right here, and then I'm going to put one halfway in between both of those, just like that. So we have a nice array with 5 of these thrusters, and that's going to be pretty good, I guess. That's basically all we need for this launch. Now we're going to go back to our basic, go back to our utility, and we're going to grab this thing here. And we can sort of just connect to it like we did the previous time. We'll go and get a 20-ton fuel tank. We really don't need the 20-ton tank, but like I said, it's always good to have a little bit extra fuel like this, especially when we're doing missions for, any random person to just try. It makes it a lot easier for someone if they don't have to worry so much about the fuel. So, aerodynamics. Now it's time for the fairings. And I'm going to try and speed right along on this one. Bam, we're going to do the same thing we did last time, where we put the fairings over the rocket and then just sort of close them right in like this. And we get this long, narrow fairing here. Bam. Oh, wrong one. Time to just cap it off, please. Thank you. Just like that. Now, let's talk about our actual launch stage. This thing only weighs 35 tons. So, I mean, basically, we could get this thing to space with a few of these broadswords, but we're not going to. We're going to use our Hawk engines, because the Hawk engines are just amazing here. I really, really like the Hawk engines. They're great for, the small stages. And we're going to do the 2 Hawk engines with the nose cones as boosters. Our second stage is just going to be a little teeny broadsword stage, just to get us that little extra velocity that we're going to end up needing here. And then we've got the final stage, which can finish our circularization and actually get us to the station, just like before. So we will launch. We're going to go and we're going to zoom out. Ooh dear, please don't. So if you hit the buttons on the launch pad like this, you can sort of rock your rocket back and forth. I don't recommend it. long, narrow rocket like this will tip itself over. And I don't want to do that. So here we are at our thumbnail. Increase our thrust all the way. Did I actually turn my engines on? Oh dear. Right. Okay, okay. So engine on. Engine on. Let's just... Okay. That's not what I meant to do. Let's just sort of go back to build and try this again because I was too interested in my thumbnail and I wasn't paying attention here. Alright. There we go. Thumbnail. That's off. 50%, 100%. Both engines on. That was an example of what not to do, right? We're going to go with it. Oh. Why is this one upside down? I don't know how I managed to do that, but whatever. We're just going to set the station as our target like normal, and we're going to get ready to boost off into space. 100% thrust. This time we can go back here, turn our engines on. Good, great. Just what we want to do. We're going to start turning pretty much immediately because we're already at the 200 meter mark, already at the 1,000 meter mark actually. So we need to turn right over really quickly here. And we want to just keep turning because we want to do a nice gravity turn here. Where this is so light, you know, we want to be careful not to just go straight up with this one. Alright. And that's probably pretty good right there. We can keep turning just a little bit more. But I think we're basically done. There we go. We're at 11 kilometers. Bam. Turn our engine back on with the second stage. Alright, here we go. We want to be basically following perfectly prograde here because we want to make sure that we raise our apoapsis out of the atmosphere here. We're doing pretty good on speed, so that's not an issue. The only issue is if we aren't paying attention and we go too low, in too much of a low arc, we wouldn't make it out of the atmosphere potentially, and that's not a good thing to have happen. Alright, there we go. And we're just gonna keep burning like this. We're at 25, so I'm gonna go here and release the fairing. We're just gonna very, very quickly cut our thrust while we're releasing the fairing, just in case. That way we don't smash into anything. And we can just continue to boost. We're going to run out of fuel really quickly here. There it is. And final stage. Bam. So we have about 400 meters per second left that we need to actually make it into a nice circular orbit here. We got plenty in this tank to actually do that. So there's nothing to worry about, and we're just gonna, you know, do what we normally do and boost straight from circularization all the way directly into rendezvous with the station. And speaking of that, we should be circularized any second now because we just hit 1,600 meters per second, and there it is. We are now, well, we will. There it is. Earth orbit reached. We are awesome. Alright, so this is going to be the same as the last ones. We're going to go to about 247-ish as far as our apoapsis is concerned. 246.6 is perfect. We can preemptively rotate ourselves because this time I got to be paying attention because we're going backwards. Or the icon is backwards, I should say. I really don't know why it does that sometimes. There we go. And what we're going to do is go to 100% thrust, and we're going to burn our periapsis up to like 130 is probably pretty good. We'll go around a couple times, and that will allow us to catch up with the station. What we want to do is increase to maybe 200-ish. There we go. For our periapsis, so we don't overshoot. Here we are. This is like perfect here. Okay, what we want to do now is just increase our apoapsis to about 250. Alright, there it is. 241. We can actually go through and follow this. Once we get back to our apoapsis, we'll turn around and raise our periapsis. So right about here. Boost the periapsis up to, like 248 is probably actually pretty good right there. This means we can go around like, I don't know, maybe 4 times, maybe 5 times. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, 6, 7, 8 times apparently, because I'm bad at figuring this out. Alright, and we're actually really close right now. So let's go into the rocket screen. Can we see it? We can see it. It's right there. So from here, we're just gonna basically point directly towards the little speck on our map. Right there. We're gonna go to 100% thrust, and boom. So right about there. That's pretty good. We can accelerate some time. Alright. So now we want to go, I think, basically straight up is probably pretty good. Turn to the right some so we can kill some of the sideways momentum. Uh-oh. Going too fast. Go down to like 20% thrust. Alright, so that's basically it right there. Now we can just rotate ourselves around so we are in the appropriate orientation, or close to the appropriate orientation. And we can just continue to burn with our RCS thrusters until it starts coming back towards us, or until we start moving back towards the station, I should say. Pretty close here. Now let's speed up some time. So right here is basically perfect. We can just kill our vertical and start to slow down our horizontal speed relative to the station. Oop, oop. I'm at the wrong angle. There we are. That's it right there. Perfect. All right. So we have finished with the frames for the solar panels. Now let's go through and open them all. Bam! You can't beat that. That's awesome. Just look at how tight of a fit that is. And we have our great big solar panels ready to go. And basically, we can use the ion thrusters that we have with the fuel in the station now to actually go through and, say we want to adjust our apoaps or periaps. Actually, in this case, it's probably better if we do it this way with just the RCS thrusters. Because we're pretty close. Alright, 250 by 250.2 is basically right there. What we're going to do now, like previously, we are going to just empty the last little bit of fuel out of this thing. giving us about 5%, 4%, something like that to deorbit this piece we don't need. So we'll separate it, boom, move it off the station, and once we're sure we're not going to hit, 100% thrust, retrograde, and boom, it's gone. Out of fuel, that's perfect, we're on a collision course, you know, we're done. It's all set here. And that's, oops, I forgot to switch back to the station. There we go. That's it for the solar panels on the station. We're all set on the solar stuff. So the next time we are together, we are actually probably going to do a little bit more with Mars first, but then we're going to start working on like some sort of docking system or docking area on the station, probably off the right side of it here, off this bottom port. So we'll have to take this module here and deorbit that, but then we can go through and start creating, you know, some sort of docking bay. So thank you all so much for watching. My name's Xeriua, and this is the Nocturnal Gaming Network, bringing you Spaceflight Simulator. Have yourselves a wonderful night, everybody!